Hello, beautiful ladies, and welcome to today's bonus lesson. It is so good to be here live and feel in this energy with you. And whether you're here live or on the replay, I am so happy you're here. It's going to be a beautiful lesson, and I am so excited. I got some cray hair. This is what happens sometimes, which is totally fine. I'm going to make sure that I am live here in the group. As you're hopping on, whether live or on the replay, say hello. Let your energy be here. Be present. Be here. And welcome to the bonus lesson, all about loving your inner child. It's going to be so good and so delicious. I hope you've been loving the program so far. There's been a lot of really amazing pieces, and I know it's a journey. So it's not something that it's going to be like one and done. That's not something that we can expect. It's, loving ourselves and discovering ourselves and releasing ourselves from the prison that we have been in from our protectors, although those protectors are trying to do it out of love, but then we end up abandoning ourselves and focusing on others and trying to be perfect and doing all the things, etc. And this is a place where it's claiming that it gets to be a journey. It gets to be a journey that we get to keep loving and exploring and expanding ourselves and really connecting more to the truth of who we are. And this is why I love this work, and I continue doing that journey as well. So let me get my water going, and then we'll dive into our lesson. Although I do love this music. I always love this music. It's just so calm. It gets us into the vibes. Well, before we dive in, I want you to place your hand on your heart. Taking a big, deep breath in and breathing out. Take another big, deep breath in. One last breath in and fill up your stomach and hold at the top, breathing in and breathing out. Just feel yourself anchored here, being here in this moment. I know there's so much that we have in our day, but you are here now, and I want you to be here now. Be here now. This is the presence of ourselves. So again, welcome to the bonus lesson, all on loving your inner child. This is such an important part of this work, because as you continue this journey and evolve and deepen the love for yourself, that the biggest piece of what we really want to be doing is loving, yes, who we are now. And as we've talked about in previous lessons, is loving our past version of ourselves and not shaming our past self, and really being just loving all upon ourselves. Really, there's nothing off limits from you and your experiences from past, present, and future that is exempt from loving you. It all gets to be loved. And the deepest, most essential piece that is so important to really anchor into the love is the love to your inner you, your inner child, and the different versions of your inner child. So what I mean by this is there's so many, even as we say inner child, it almost has this assumption that there's just one inner child, that there's just one moment or one aspect of our inner child that we need to attend to and love, when in reality, it's our inner child. What I like to kind of visualize this as is our inner child is any past version of ourselves. any past version of ourselves that had those pains and wounds from the past, as we talked about, right? The ouches, the uh-ohs, the things where your protectors and you are saying, I never want that to happen again. And this could be, as big or as small. And again, that language, that's for lack of better terms, but it's all relative. And also we want to make sure we're not minimizing any experiences that you have had. And whether it's, big traumatic experiences, or, I was talking to a client earlier today where she was mentioning how she wanted to tell her mom, or she did tell her mom, that she didn't want as many of the kisses and cuddles that her mom kept trying to give her. It's almost she felt like her mom was really in that kind of smothering place, smother mother. And she had told her mom when she was a kid, like, I need a little bit of space. Like, can you kind of please back off on the hugs? And her mom totally dismissed that and basically said, tough, like, this is what I want to do and this is what's going to happen. And so this really kick-started this whole unraveling, this whole more of this building, like this snowball that started to collect momentum around these feelings of my voice doesn't matter, my needs don't matter, that I'm not important, that et cetera, I get dismissed, etc. And those moments, they are really anything that really disconnects us from the truth of who we are, and what we can't manage to move through those emotions ourselves. Those really are traumatic experiences, and we don't need to compare them from, sometimes our mind goes into, well, it wasn't as bad as this person, or it wasn't as bad as this experience, or it's not as bad as I had heard before. And it doesn't matter. It's not about a comparison of what your experience was. It was that experience hurtful to you? Was that experience disrupting to you? Was that experience dysregulating to you? And it can be any time. It doesn't matter. And even that term inner child, it can be this place of, well, we think of inner child as like way back when we were kiddo. But sometimes our memories go to like maybe when we were teens, when something happened to us. Maybe there was, sexual assault that had happened to you. Maybe there was, maybe a parent like totally outbursted and yelled at you. Excuse me. And it was a very, our system goes, oh my gosh. And it traps all that energy inside. So I tell you all this because our inner child encompasses all those moments where we are frozen and also in that continuous place of pain, and we're like trapped in time. We're trapped in time as little kiddos and teens, or whatever the age that you are trapped in time. And I want you to, as we're talking about this, is to really reflect on what moment or moments, but think of maybe one off at the top of your head right now, where you feel like there's an inner part of you, a younger part of you. So really inner child is a younger part of you that had felt the lack of love, the abandonment, the feeling of not enough, the pain of those experiences, the hurts that had happened. And really see, one, how old was I? How old was I? Can I feel this experience? Can I see this experience in the past? And oftentimes, as I said, kind of with that snowball effect, they compound. So sometimes, what had happened when we were 4, things repeat and then they keep compounding on top of it. So you might have had an experience at 4, and then at 7, and then at 12, and 12 and a half, and then 13, 13 and a half, and then it keeps compounding. But go to the place where you feel that there was a younger you that was not able to express herself, not able to feel the safety, to feel whatever emotion was going on inside of you, her, past you. Because this is what happens with our trauma that gets stuck, and our wounded self that gets stuck, our inner child that gets stuck, is that there's emotion that wasn't able to be processed through. Because the person that maybe you thought to go to or you would think that you would be able to go to is maybe the one who's hurting you. So you can actually open yourself up to then process whatever emotion is going through. And because we are animals, and because we have a system that then holds a stress system and stress response, when we have had experiences that happen, if we can't move through that experience, then we block it inside of our body, we trap it inside of our body. So oftentimes I like to reference that we see animals that when they, run, and animals, they like get chased by something and there's this panic response, right? And or maybe they're play dead, right? So that's the freeze response. So we have the fight, flight, freeze, and fawn response, and we'll talk about that more in the next bonus lesson around trauma and really diving into that a lot more. But when those responses aren't, if we don't re-regulate our system by moving that energy through and the emotions that move through and all of the just biological system, we don't move it through, then we get trapped in. And we see animals when they, get chased, when they get back up again, if they didn't get caught, they like shake, right? They're shaking out all of that energy that happens. This is why as you do this work, don't be surprised if when you really do a big release, it's almost like really allowing, like if you think of an artery that's clogged and gets kind of a blockage, gets unclogged, there's going to be a big flow of blood that's going to be moving through the system. So same thing that happens inside of our bodies is this piece of when an old energy kind of unclogs from your system, instead of being trapped in, it moves the flow of the system. It almost like it opens up the channel a lot more because it gets unclogged. And in that response, our body is releasing it all. And then there can be like literal like animal shakes that happen. This has happened many times to me. And so don't be surprised if this happens to you. And also the feeling of maybe throwing up, or sometimes you actually do throw up. That's a purging of that old trapped trauma energy that's been inside of our bodies. So we want to understand that this is what is happening inside of our bodies. And there's a whole, I'm not going to go into all the science over all of that, but we just need to know that that's what happens. And so there is a younger version of you that is still trapped in around holding on to that energy and having the belief systems around that experience. And what I have noticed, even in my internal world and of all the people that I've worked with as well, is we can see this inner child inside of us that is almost like frozen in those moments, that is really almost committed to staying here in this moment to fix it or making it better or to experience something different. And two big examples that always are like the deep stuff that happens inside of me is, one of them, I know one of my inner child, she is stuck staring up at my parents who are yelling at each other above me. And I am just like frozen and petrified in that. And there's a lot of other things that go around that too, of like, is this my fault? Did I make this happen? And then after that, my parents got divorced. So there's a whole bunch of meaning that got really connected to that experience. And that inner child in me being trapped into that place, there's a lot of healing that needs to happen around that wound, but also in going back in time and repairing that moment with her, being the adult, being the parent that our inner child didn't have at that time, being the caregiver that our inner child didn't have at that time, to help soothe and reassure and have it feel that everything is okay. And another experience, so I'm using my own experiences to share this with you, is another one that I could feel is there's another kind of activation of I released this part of me a while ago. She's no longer frozen in that moment in time, but there was, in one of the old houses that I had growing up, there was this basement. It was an unfinished basement, and I had at the time 5 stepsisters and a sister. It was like all girl situation. And I remember in my inner child, when I go back to this moment, there's this place where I'm standing at the top of the stairs. It was the door, right? This is what happens when we really connect with our inner child. Like we can see all, like the whole scenery of the stuck moment. Don't be surprised though if you can't go to that place just yet. This happens especially when we've had really traumatic experiences that our system blocks us from even being able to see that memory that we are then trapped and kind of stuck in, and not trapped forever, but when we don't do the work, then we are trapped there for a bit. And so don't go like searching, or don't go making memories come up. We don't want to be doing that, but simply be open to receive where an inner child in you is feeling stuck in a situation where she needs you to attend to her and to be that caregiver. So that version of me, I'm standing at the top of the stairs and I'm looking down, and it's like these kind of oldish stairs that go down into the basement, and two of my stepsisters were playing down there, and I remember just being frozen again in this place of almost hopelessness, because I never felt that I could actually play the way that I wanted to play. It was either play by myself, or I had to do it the way that my sisters wanted to do it. And so I didn't want to be by myself. I wanted to be connected with others. So I learned, that was one of the first ways that I learned that, do what everyone else wants to do, and therefore I'll never be alone. I get to be connected. But nobody wanted to come play the way I wanted to come play. And so I had to do how they wanted to play. And, on the surface, it's like, well, that's not really that big of a deal. It's not really that traumatic of an experience. Like, you're just going to go play with your stepsisters. Why is that a big deal? This is where, there's parts of me that could come in and, we have the judgment and the criticism and the shames that can come around. That's where we do the work around that. But it's seeing, not judging the experience or the part of you that is stuck in those moments. And that part of me, my inner child, was there, and she just felt completely helpless and feeling like I have to abandon myself, and I have to abandon what I really would love to do in order to actually play with others. So you can see how that people pleaser mentality really started to show up. And so there's, other experiences around that too, but that's just two examples I want to give to you. And so I want to invite you to really explore, where is there in my past where I know there is an inner child in me that felt neglected, that felt not seen, that felt not heard, that is trapped in those moments, and that there was nobody there to help her process through the emotions that need to be processed through. And this is where, when we go deep into this inner child place, one of the places and one of the exercises I want to suggest to you ladies is to, one, write a letter to that inner child, write a letter from your little kid's perspective, the younger child's perspective. Sometimes it's nice. I love this activity of, and I do this with money oftentimes, or my business sometimes, or just any time when I want to really play into the different parts inside of me, is I'll do almost like this pen pal type of situation. I'll write letters back and forth. And so one way that you can start really providing that reassurance and providing that love that little you didn't have is through those letters. And writing, so this would look like you writing a letter from yourself now and letting younger you know, hey, I'm here for you. I want to hear what you have to say. I love you so much. I know that was a painful experience, but I'm here for you. Will you open up to me? I want to hear everything, all your emotions. I want to hug you. I want to hold you. And then writing a letter from that other perspective. And it might be not writing because it's younger you. Maybe there's a picture that you want to draw to really show and explain what had happened, something to be witnessed and seen by you. This is the whole point of inner child work, or one of the big points is to be witnessed and seen and held and loved by the version of you, your highest self, your soul self, which is connected to God in the universe, whatever words you want to use, that you are connecting to that energy of pure love, and being able to hold this version of you in the past in that love, in that place, being the secure, safe place for your inner child that she didn't have in the past. And what this does is this creates this collapsing of time, of timelines inside of you, because you go into the past wound that's held and trapped inside of you. And you kind of, it's that, again, oh my gosh, what is the words? The bloodstream, right? And there's a clog that's there. Is we're like breaking apart the clogged energy, or the trapped energy, and then releasing it out, so it actually gets to be integrated into your system, and it gets to happen immediately. This is how crazy cool like quantum time is what we go in and heal from the past, and the present moment gets to then be integrated into who we are right now in the present moment. Pretty dang powerful. This is why all the inner work that we do creates the shifts in our lives right now immediately. So letter is a really amazing piece as well. Another exercise. So again, I want you to pick and choose or do all the exercises of really going into that inner child place. And one of the other ones that is really powerful is at the age that you were, at the memory that you are, that's kind of up into the surface of where your inner child felt those pains of not loved and not enough and disregarded and invisible and I don't matter and et cetera, is finding a photo of you of that age, or around that age if you can't find something that is exactly that age, and finding a photo of you at that time. This is a really powerful exercise, and one that honestly for a long time, I remember years ago, there's a therapist of mine that kept suggesting this, and often things that we avoid doing, we know is going to be really powerful, but also very emotional. And so sometimes we avoid the work. So just notice if you're even in this whole program, if there's things that you were avoiding doing, or maybe you're seeing one of the lessons and you kind of skipped over it, just be gentle on yourself, but notice that, that's probably where one of my biggest transformations is going to be. And it's taking a little bit of time for me to really lean into that. And that's okay. It's just something to notice and be aware of. Again, never judging or shaming ourselves, but being aware of our own process. But one of the exercises that is, I feel, really powerful is finding that picture, right? A photo of younger you, or even if you can't find a photo, something that represents that version of you. Maybe there is a picture that you draw that represents that. Maybe there is, one of the items that I really connected to, I should have brought it into this lesson. That would have been amazing, is he's downstairs. But I have this old stuffed animal that his name is Puppin. It's like this long, lanky dog. It's kind of the weirdest stuffed animal, and it's so cute. I have a picture of me. I'll share it in the group, but I have a picture of me where I'm like basically the same size as this stuffed animal. He's so cute. And it's his name was Puppin, and that also is another kind of memory that I know that I was frozen in, where I can remember my stepsisters and my sister were like tossing this animal, my stuffed animal, my only secure space that I had, that was being tossed over my head as a keep away. And I remember this one moment and it took a while for me to heal this moment and do this inner child work that I'm sharing with you right now. Is right, I share all the things with you that I've seen work either within me or within others in the work that I've done. Is I reached this place of just helplessness, just kind of like the fawning and just limping out, just like I can't change the situation. So I went into helplessness mode, and just being like, well, I guess I'm not going to get my stuffed animal back, even though I was crying and I was bawling and I thought it was so funny. Kids think they're teasing, but it actually creates some scenarios inside of us. But I still have this stuffed animal, and this dog, it's like basically destroyed. I think my mom re-sewed an arm on it, but it's actually backwards and his nose fell off because my dog got it. It's like a whole situation. But that would be an item that would really represent my inner child in around that time as well. Oh, and another frozen moment. Sorry, there's so many frozen moments, and don't get overwhelmed by them. It's just, these are the places to go back to and really be there for your inner child. And one of them as well is there's a moment, and I know I've mentioned this before, but not in here, I believe, but I'm going to mention it again, is there's a moment where I was playing hide and seek with my dad, and I found a really, really good hiding spot. And it was like behind my bed. It was a water bed, and there was like this kind of cubby area behind the bed in the master bedroom, and I hid there, but he couldn't find me, and I kept hiding, and I didn't want to come out because, I didn't want to reveal my spot. I was just so proud of myself. But then he couldn't find me. And then I felt like he forgot about me because he was out front talking to a neighbor, because I actually finally came out of the hiding spot and I looked out the front window and he's talking to a neighbor. And in that moment, I made it mean that I don't matter, that I'm not important, because here he is just talking to a neighbor. And so my mind made it mean that he just forgot about me. He's not playing anymore. I'm not important. But really, he was freaking the F out and talking to my neighbor, asking like, have you seen my daughter? But this is the meanings that we make out of those experiences. And so I have gone back and done some healing around this too. And in a way, I'll show you in the next exercise in just a moment. But that picture or the item that you have is then holding, right? Having the sacred moment and holding that item and sending the love that you wish you received in that moment. The reassurance that you wish that you received, the words, the action, the whatever it is that you wish that you received in that moment, and really sending it to that younger version of you and sending all the love. It's always good to close our eyes and just sending all the love, all the love, all the love. And this is something that can really help just activate those memories, but be gentle. Again, be gentle, especially if there's big experiences that had happened. We don't want to, really unearth huge memories, but feel into it. Be the judgment of your own capacity to really go into those experiences, right? So be gentle on yourself and really create this opening so that you can give love to that inner part of you, the inner child in you that was trying to figure life out all by herself, because this is what activates your protectors, because these parts of you are trapped in time and they feel like this version of you feels like she's all alone, that she's all alone to try to process the emotions, all alone to try to figure things out, all alone trying to understand meaning about what had happened. And because as younger versions of us, we often place blame on ourselves because we are the easily accessible thing to understand and put blame on and control, etc. So we point our finger to ourselves. And so that younger version of you is stuck in that time of being on her own, being alone and figuring that out. And the idea of all of this inner child work is to be there for her, saying, you're not alone. You're not alone. I got you. I am here. I am here for you. You don't have to figure this out alone. Let me share with you the meaning of this. I got this. Let me hold you. Let me love you. And it's really powerful. And I'll walk you through a meditation here in just a moment, but I'm going to talk you through it here before we actually enter into that meditation. Is what we really want to do as well, and another really powerful type of exercise to go into that inner child work, is to, as you see that scene that you are trapped in, and there's so many different possibilities of scenes that are there, right? The painful experience, that the initiating wound that was there, or at least a layer toward that initiating wound. Sometimes we need to not go to the deepest of layer, but maybe, 10 layers up, that experience that was a compounded experience, and going to that experience. So maybe it wasn't the primary, right? The ground zero, if you will, of the main pain experience. That is like level 100, like pain and scary, that we want to go kind of excavate, if you will, layers and layers. So we're not diving to the very center of things because it's going to be very overwhelming to your system, but maybe to an experience where you can enter yourself into it now as your powerful woman, loving, accessing the power of love of your highest self and your soul self, and entering into that experience. So what that looks like, and I'll use a powerful, I won't go into all the details right now, but there was, actually I've done this in many different scenarios, but recently there was an experience that started to bubble up to the surface for me around needing some love and needing some connection and needing some reassurance and needing someone to be there for her, because she was so alone and trying to figure things out and making meaning around things. And I remember that I went in and did this inner child work. So I went in and I closed my eyes and I visualized that scenario, the moment of feeling alone, the moment of feeling those pains, the moment of feeling all of those pain, the initial pain experiences. And the visualization is really imagining you as you are now, traveling back in time. And I know this might sound crazy, but believe me, it's very powerful work, that we travel back in time through our mind and through our visualization, and seeing the you as you are now, the you who you are now, that knows what she knows now, that knows that she is amazing and wonderful and beautiful, that knows that she's okay and safe, that knows, everything, the truth of her soul, right? Even if you are learning to really own this more and more, is you still have the truth of your soul, even if your human self is still anchoring this into your body. And bringing that version of you now with your highest self, traveling back in time to that moment, and visualizing yourself being there and being the caretaker, the person, the adult, the one who helps young you actually process through what had happened. Being there for her to have a shoulder to cry on, to hold her and hug her, to really love her and say, there, it's okay. Everything is going to be okay. You're okay. It's all okay. Go ahead and cry. Let it all come out. What questions do you have? Let me answer them for you. And so traveling back in time and being that person for your inner child then repairs that relationship. It repairs that. It allows this deepening of feeling of safety and security inside of your body, because you are there for you. This is the most powerful thing, right? Of really deepening in that love for you, is being there for you in the past versions of you when nobody else was there for you. You get to be there for you, and it's never, ever, ever too late to do this work. It's never too late to reignite or reconnect or reintegrate these abandoned versions of you who are just kind of spinning around in circles, trapped in this moment of time. And don't be surprised if that inner child in you, that younger version of you in that memory, right? Again, there could be different versions of your inner child, right? It's not just one moment or one moment in time, although it might be, but I pretty much guarantee that it's actually multiple moments. Don't be surprised if that younger version of you does not even acknowledge you when you first enter into this picture, doesn't even listen to you, it's still maybe facing, I remember when I did this with that one memory I told you about, of looking out the window and seeing my dad talking to the neighbor, and then feeling this place of abandonment and not important, and do I not even matter, etc., etc. I remember for the longest time, no matter how many times I did this inner meditation work and going and visiting my younger self for a while, because she was so committed to looking out that window. This inner child in me was so committed because she wanted the response from my father. She kept looking to the window because I want the response from my father. I want my dad to be the one to give me that reassurance. I want my dad to be the one to tell me everything is okay. I want my dad to be the one to tell me that I'm important. I want my dad to be the one to, give me a hug. Right? This is what happens. Those inner child, the younger parts in us, are still looking to whatever person it is, perhaps, to give us that fulfilling of that need. We're stuck in that limbo of not getting it and still seeking it, not getting it and still seeking it. This is what then radiates out to the rest of our life, where we then are still trying to get that, seeking to be seen, seeking to be loved, seeking to be held, seeking to be, whatever it is that you were seeking in those trapped moments. We keep seeking it and finding it, right? And then we, have partners that we try to seek it through, like all these different experiences, all because that younger version of you is still trapped in that time, still in that pain, and still trying to seek what she was not getting and receiving. And so don't be surprised if as you come in, right, and she doesn't give you the light of day. She's still, like with my younger version, she was still looking out the window for a long time. And then there was a time when she was like, who's this woman in the bedroom? Like, who is this woman here? Because I would always walk into the bedroom and I would just say hi and say, I'm here. I'm here if you need me. Sometimes I would sit on the floor. I would just sit there and just say, hi, I'm here. And then I would, leave, right, life. And then I would come back. I would do visualization and come back again. Hey, I'm here. So this is a place where you're building trust in your younger self, because she is used to not trusting anybody. She's used to that being in that constant place of lather, rinse, repeating, that limbo of hurt and pain and not getting what she really wants and needs. She's used to that feeling. She's used to being there by herself, figuring shit out. She's used to being on her own in that experience. So that's why I say don't be surprised if she's not all jumping up for joy when you show up in this past vision of you, because she's used to being there all by herself, or she's used to being there, like in that example of when my parents are like yelling above me, like I'm not technically by myself, but I am by myself because no one was with me in my emotions. They were distracted by what was going on between them. So I was ignored. That's one of my big wounds inside of me, is the feeling of ignored, right? You got to find your word, right? Whether it's ignored, dismissed, not lovable, I don't matter, right? Those big claims that you make. So I had I'm feeling ignored and therefore I don't matter, right? So there's all the claims that we make. So even though I was with someone in that memory or in that actual experience that I had, I was by myself, if that makes sense. Same thing for you. There could be experiences where, yes, there were people that were there and present, but you were by yourself and trying to move through the emotion and the experience by yourself. But the thing is, and continuously going into this memory as you and who you are now, is you're building trust. You're building trust with that young version of you, that you're still coming, like you're still there. You're still saying, like I did with that vision going into the bedroom. It's like I would walk in, say hi, I'm here. When you're ready to talk, I'm here. When you're ready to talk, I am here. And soon you'll see, and maybe that's all younger you needed, is someone just to say, I'm here when you're ready to talk. If you need something, I'm here for you. Maybe that's all that younger version of you needed. And maybe that younger version of you will come running over to you and curl up in your lap and you just love all up on her, like this little munchkin, and love her. But it might take some time. She's going to be hesitant. She's not going to trust, because that version of you has been trapped alone for years. So having another having any loving entity come into that memory, it's going to be weird and strange, and she's not going to trust it. Is this dependable? Right? There's an acronym that I often talk about, and I talk about in other programs, is the ARE acronym, which is, are you available, reliable, and engaged, meaning present and engaged, not distracted, not there and distracted, which is so important in relationships and also in the relationship with yourself. So as you go back in this memory, it's letting the younger you know that I'm available, I'm here, and that you're doing it on a reliable basis as well. You're not doing it. This is why the younger you needs to build some trust. It's like, well, you're going to check in on me once and then just disappear. So why would I even share with you my feelings if you're just going to disappear? And when you're there, are you actually present and open to receive what the younger you is wanting to share with you and tell you and need from you? And this takes some building inside of yourself as well, to be that woman who can go back and love all upon past version of you. And don't worry about doing it perfectly. This is not about perfection. This is about being present and saying, I'm here, and bringing that loving energy with you. That's the most important. And so no matter how long it takes or how many times that it takes, keep revisiting those moments. And it might be, this is where some of the work, especially if you've had big traumatic experiences, is that there's I call it slicing it thinner, is really kind of stepping, not in a huge big leap, but slicing it thinner, taking a smaller and smaller step, is being able to actually go back to that memory might be where your step is, and you might not be able to go into that memory and actually be there in a very grounded, secure, regulated place as your adult self with your younger child. So that's where some of this inner work continues to come in, that you strengthen yourself as you are now so that you can go back. This is just even hitting me on a whole other level even here as I tell you this is the reason why we do this inner work. One of the huge reasons is so that you can, right? We do the strengthening work for ourselves to a place where we actually have the grounding and security and the power inside of ourselves and the love, access of the love of our highest self, so that we can go back in time in these memories, so that we can repair and love those past versions of us, and so that we can bring all the love. And as we continue moving forward, this is so profound to be able to do that. This is why it's never too late. It's never too late to do this work, because we can always go back in time, no matter how far and long ago it was, and still repair those times and still infuse love into those times. It's never too late for that, ever, ever. It's such a beautiful gift, this work that you give to yourself. And then it becomes this whole continuum of love. The past you and merges with the you, and bringing more of you into the future. It's just so delicious, so profound. So be gentle on yourself in this process. Be gentle on being there for the younger version of you. And don't get mad or discouraged, or like, that version of me just still won't listen to the reassurance that I want to give her. I'm here. I want to give her a huge, huge hug, but she's not willing to come out yet. I had a client a while ago. I remember this one client, and one of their inner child is like one of the big driving factors for a lot of the wounds, and then also the protectors inside of my client. And I remember this version. It was for a while that the younger version, the inner child, it was the teenage years, that this version of my client was under a desk for the longest time, because that was the place where they were hiding from the anger and the abusive father and things like that. It was under the desk. It's safe here. I can hide here. I'm protected here. And so that version of them was under the desk for a long, long time. And we did this work, right, of visiting and visiting. And similar things, just being there in the room and saying hello and sitting on the floor. And sometimes it's, not even going into the room yet. It's opening the door and asking, can I come in? And if you get a don't come in yet, then don't force it. Do not force or push this experience, because then it's going to disrupt the trust that's there. That's why it's allowing however long this takes, whatever unfolding that needs to happen, how long this inner child in you needs to have to build up the trust with you building up the trust with you. This is where really, really a big piece of inner trust comes from, is allowing you, younger versions of you, to trust you, to be there for you. This is how it works. I know this is deep stuff, and I know it's not an overnight thing, but this is the process. This is the work that so many of us avoid, because it does take time. And in a society where we want the quick fixes, a lot of us don't do this work. We want to scratch across the surface and just have it be done already. But we cannot force the healing connection with ourself. We cannot force it. We cannot take our current view of how we have things and force our past version of ourselves to just accept that view of things. That's not how it works. So it takes some time. And as you keep showing up and you become available and reliable and you're engaged and you're open, that younger version of you will, I guarantee it. I can't guarantee the time frame, but I guarantee that younger version of you will start to get curious of like, there's this person that like keeps being there. I'm not used to people being there for me and being there for me consistently and continuously saying, I'm here for you. I want to hear you. I want to reassure you. I want to love up on you. This part of you is going to start to get curious and start to go like, this is interesting. And so maybe that part of you will, like in the version of that my client a while ago who had, under the desk, that part under the desk then came out, but didn't want to talk, just came out. And then there was playing in the room, but no talking yet, just playing in the room. And then showing up, and then there was talking, and then there was tears, and there was holding, and then there was trust that gets built, right? Anytime that the inner child in you kind of sounds the alarm, that this is scary, that I don't like this, what if someone abandons me, and what if, right? Instead of your inner protectors, this is how it all loops together, instead of your inner protectors coming in to try to protect you, as the little kid had to do, the little child in you, now your inner child turns to you for safety. You, your highest self, your strong soul queen self, turns to you for your wants and needs, rather than your protectors having to be activated as you did when you were 5, 7, 11 years old, whatever time or age that you were. This is where that inner sense of strength and that inner sense of trust and that inner sense of groundedness and security and all of that comes in. This is how you really but you do live a life where you're led by your soul self, is because those inner childs in you turn to you. And they never go away. All the parts in you, I want to say this here, all the parts in you, they never completely go away unless it's not yours. This is something that we've talked about in soul support lessons. If you want to be a part of that, just let me know. Which is going to be called the Soul Queen Academy soon. But we've talked about pieces of this, of releasing and letting go what is not yours, because sometimes we have parts in us that are like, they're called implants. They're like implants, like a part from your father or a part from your mother or a societal part that you're holding on inside of you that actually isn't a part of you. That's a whole other discussion though. But this is where the inner trust really comes in, that it's you with you, not your inner protectors leading the show. So a lot of pieces that are said there. And I know this is more of yes, there's information here, but I really, 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 really want you to continue doing this work. This is not just a one and done type of thing. So after this lesson, from now, this moment moving forward, this is where your continuous check-in with yourself and going to that past memory and doing that inner work, whether it's in that place of, right, holding a picture to kind of activate and get into that place, an item that really creates that, writing the letters back and forth like a pen pal situation, right? And I know this is deep work too. This is why oftentimes getting even more hands-on help is really helpful, because sometimes it's tricky to do this work by ourselves. That's why support is really helpful and powerful. And going into a visualization with yourself to really be there for yourself. So I want to walk you through a visualization right here, right now, and feel free to pause this and come back to this and, I want you to create a space for yourself. I know at the beginning of this whole program, I asked you to really create a sanctuary for yourself, and it's really important, especially during these times, that you are doing a visualization, that you are anchored into that sanctuary place, someplace that feels grounding and calm and really safe and secure for you, because you want to bring as much calm into your system as you can, so that you can feel this sense of calm as you go back into the visualization place. So it's not going to be too terribly long, because I want you to keep coming back to it. Let's put on some music. Let me pull it up real fast. And Give me
Soaring
just
prices,
one second.
massive shortages.
Oh, advertisements, always so silly. I love it. It's always important to find the best music. I want you to close your eyes, taking a big, deep breath in, breathing out, taking another big, deep breath in, and breathing out. One last time, breathing in, breathing out. With your eyes closed, I want you to create an openness in your heart with your breath, feeling your body relax, feeling the breath move through your body. Creates an opening, letting God, the universe, know that you are here to receive the memory where an inner child in you is trapped alone by herself. A part of you that is ready to receive your love, that is ready to be held, that is open to you. As you take a big deep breath, I want you to start to see the scenery of this memory form in your mind. Whatever this memory holds, I want you to see if it's a room, someplace outside, wherever it is, let it form. Start to see all the pieces fill in, the people fill in with whoever was there. Notice if your body is resisting any of this memory. Don't push or force it. Go as far into this process as it feels comfortable, knowing that you can always come back to this again to go just a little bit further, a little bit more open. And as you see everything fill into this picture of your memory, I want you, from your awareness now, see the past version of you, the younger version of you, your inner child in the moment of this memory. And just see her. See her in this vision, in this memory. Maybe she's crying. Maybe she's being hurt right now. Maybe it could be anything. frozen in fear. Take a big deep breath. Allow this memory to be there. Seeing it outside of you. Almost held in this bubble in front of you, like a balloon just floating in front of you as you witness and you see this memory, this moment. Now take a big deep breath. And when you are ready, I want you to see yourself as you are now, bringing all the love and lights, your connection to your highest self, your soul self, all the love that you have access to. I want you to see yourself enter into this bubble, this memory. See yourself appear wherever it is that you saw this memory form. In the room, outside, wherever it was. And as you become visible in this memory, I want you to feel the space of this memory, the energy of it. See if you can connect any sounds, any tastes, any smells, any feels. Maybe it was a moment at night and you can feel the cold air on your skin. As you stand there, I want you to place your hand on your heart and breathe in and feel the light of love that you carried with you into this memory. And then I want you to turn to the younger version of you. See her where she is at, who she's talking to or not talking to, crying, not crying. This moment in time where she felt alone. These big, big, big emotions she had no idea what to do with. I want you to let her know that you are here in whatever way feels aligned to you. Don't walk up to her yet, though. Give her some space. Maybe you smile at her, maybe you wave to her. Maybe you say something like, I am here for you. I am here for you. I am here for you. It's situation that is happening, if there's any action that is going on, any hurt and pain that is continuing in this moment, maybe a violence, someone's yelling at past you, anything like that. I want you, the powerful woman that you are, that has entered into this picture, I want you to let whatever this person is, I want you to tell them to leave now. In whatever way that feels powerful for you. And don't worry, there can be a time in the future where, and even right now, if you have something to say to this person from your powerful self, if there is a person that is there, being the loving, protective energy that younger you did not have in that moment, what do you want to say or do in that moment out of loving protection? Take a big deep breath. And I want you to turn to younger you and remind her again, I am here. Whenever you are ready, I am here for you always. I love you always. You are safe with me always. I am here to hold your tears. I'm here to hold your pain. I'm here to help you feel the joy and the love and the laughter and the pleasure of life. And if your inner child is ready, just ask her, is there anything that you want me to know? Is there anything that you need from me? Is there anything that you want to tell me? Are there any fears that you want to share with me? And if you are not ready, that is okay. I will be back again. And then listen to her. When you are ready, I want you to let her know that you are always here for her and that you will come and check in on her again soon. Say goodbye to her in whatever way feels aligned for you. Maybe even letting her know if you need me. You can write me a letter. You can telephone me on the telephone. You can ring a bell. You can push this little intercom button and I'm always right there on the other side. You can even ask her, how do you want to get a hold of me? How do you want to reach out to me and let me know if you're scared or if you're hurting or if you're fearful? Remember, she might not be ready to tell you all this just yet. Ask anyways. And let her know when you're ready to tell me, I am ready to hear. Send her so much love. Noticing how your body feels. Sending loving light to all of you. Creating a knowing inside of yourself that you will check in on younger you again. You will create that consistency of connection with her so that she can build trust with you until she is ready to let that trust in and let that love in, let that reassurance in. Take a big deep breath in and out. Whenever you are ready, open your eyes and come back to me. Taking a big deep breath. Anchoring that all in. Let me know how that was for you. Come back to this whenever you desire to. You can use this meditation to go back, this visualization to go back as many times. This is the connected, this is the inner work, this is the inner healing work that allows the space for more love for you. Take some time after this to journal or to sit more with yourself. Try not to go rushing off to something right after this. There's a lot of energy and emotion that gets moved through times like this. And know again that this is a process. This is the inner love work. Being there for you, loving you, creating that bond and that connection with all past versions of you. You're like a mama to all the inner kiddos in you. How beautiful is that? I'm sending you so much love. I hope this was helpful for you. And I'll see you in the next lesson.